So today, before we begin our flow, I want to show you a variation of Baddha Konasana that I really love. You don't have to take it. You might not be able to. It does involve a yoga strap. But if you have to have a yoga strap or a longer sort of a belt, it's a really nice way of bringing your legs into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, and feeling a little extra stretch while still feeling really supported. So Baddha Konasana is the pose where you bring the soles of your feet together and your knees are open out wide to the sides. Now, one thing to know about Baddha Konasana is that you won't necessarily be able to get your legs down this far if you have really tight hips. So sometimes the human hip bone is angled forward, and there's actually a very wide variation in the human population of the angle of the hip bone. So some hip bones are sort of pointing out to the sides and others are more pointing towards the front. There can be up to, I guess, a 30-degree difference in the person with the widest hips, most open out to the side, and the person who has the more narrow hips pointing more forward. So you just want to let your legs come down as much as they comfortably can. And if you can't come all the way down to the ground, don't even worry about it. It might just have to do with your genetics. One thing that you can do if you have really super tight hips and they just don't go down, and you want to be able to let them rest without feeling like gravity is pulling them down more than it should, is stick some blocks under there. If you want to just come into the pose like that, feels pretty good. And the variation with the strap, it's a really nice way to just let your legs sink into this pose. So if you want to take this variation, you wrap the strap around your back, and then over one leg, underneath both feet, and over the other leg, and that's where you close it. Just close it right there. You might have to adjust it a little bit sometimes to get that spot in a place where you can close it up easily. And here, you can just tighten the strap enough so that it's sort of cradling your feet and your legs. And once you've got your strap around the waist, over the legs, and underneath the feet, then you can lean back into this pose, just like that. And it just keeps your legs nice and open. It's just a really comfortable hip opener. So I really like to take this particular variation of Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta in Sanskrit means reclined. So reclined bound ankle pose, or also sometimes called cobbler's pose. I like to take this variation during Shavasana, and it's just such a nice way to sink into this pose, let the strap support you, and just really relax. So if you'd like to take that today during Shavasana as well, you're welcome to if you have a strap or a longer belt on hand. And I will walk you guys through that again at the end of class if that's something you choose to do. Of course, it's always up to you, like everything else. But I do like that particular variation, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So today we will be starting on our backs. Just find the most comfortable laying down position you can. Of course, you can take that variation at the beginning of class as well, if that's something you choose to do. Just get really comfortable on your mat. Close your eyes. Settle into the ground. Notice all the points where your body makes contact with the earth. Maybe your knuckles and your fingers, or if your hands have your palms facing down, maybe it's the tips of your fingers and the curve at the bottom of the palm, the elbows, the back of the head. Maybe you can feel the backs of your legs, or maybe the sides of the legs touching the ground. Feel the earth really supporting you. Start to call attention to your breath here. Every time you breathe in, feel your lungs filling up with fresh, clean air. And on each exhale, push out every last speck of stale air from your lungs, clearing out all the way. Start to stretch out your breath, slowing it down, taking a nice, long, deep inhalation, super long exhalation. Begin to listen for the Ujjayi breath, the ocean sounding breath. This is a nice, loud breath inside of your head. Imagine that you're fogging up a mirror with your lips sealed and making a sort of a ha sound. Focus on that sound of your breath, letting it fill your mind completely. Let go of any other thoughts. Don't worry about anything that happened earlier today or anything you might need to be doing later. And just be here, fully present in your body at this moment, between the four corners of your mat. Start to do your body scan. Just checking in. There's no need to change anything here. Beginning from the crown of your head, work your awareness through the back of your neck, down into your shoulders, through the arms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. And then down your spine, into your hips, and through the legs, knees, ankles, and toes. As you go through, just make a note of how you feel today in each of those parts. Notice anything that feels off today, any sore spots. And remember that you can always take a break or modify any pose to account for any injuries, any soreness. Just make this practice your own. Remember that each day is different, and the most important thing in yoga is to meet your body where it is in the present moment. Take a few more deep, full breaths here, just being inside of your body. Blink your eyes open. If you have a strap wrapped around your feet, in Supta Baddha Konasana, that I showed you before class. You can set that to the side now. Lift your knees up, drawing your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lifting your forehead up to your knees. Curl into a tight little ball, squeeze everything together. Release your head back down to the mat, finding your kneecaps with your hands. Do some circles with your knees. Feel a nice little massage on your lower back here. And find circles going the other direction. Keeping your right knee up to your chest, let your left leg slide back down to its spot on the mat, and then open out the right knee towards the right. Right fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee to help it stay down. Left arm comes out to the side, and bring the gaze over to the left hand. On your next inhale, lift your right knee up to center. Exhale, cross it over the body, dropping it down towards the left. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the right knee. Right arm comes out to the side, and bring the gaze over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Lift your right knee back into your chest. And left knee comes to join it. Once again, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forehead comes up to the knees, curling into a tight little ball. Release your head back down to the mat, keeping your left knee up to your chest. Let the right leg slide back down to its spot. And open out the left knee towards the left. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee to help the leg stay down. Right arm comes out to the side. Bring the gaze over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Lift your left knee up to center. Exhale, crossing it over the body. Drop it down towards the right. Right fingers can tuck inside the crease of the left knee. Left arm comes out to the side. Gaze comes over to the left hand. Release your right hand back out to the side. Lift your left knee back into your chest. Right knee comes to join it. One last time, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lifting your forehead up to your knees. Curl into a tight little ball. Squeeze everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Lift your feet up. Tuck your fingertips inside the creases of both knees. And rock and roll forward and back along your spine a few times. And make your way into a seat. Easy pose. Sitting cross-legged. If you can, try to open up your feet and knees so that nothing's overlapping, so you don't feel like you're circulation is getting cut off. If that's not accessible to you, that's also fine. Inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the feet. Stretch your fingers out in front of you. Relax your forehead down towards the ground. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Flip your hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, side stretch. Place your left hand down on the ground. Walk your fingers out and let your right arm come arcing overhead. Fingers dangling down. You can keep your gaze down towards the floor, or if it feels okay on the neck, you can bring the gaze up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, lift your hands back up to center. Exhale, stretching down towards the left. Put your left hand down, walk your fingers out, and let your right arm come arcing overhead. Feel that nice stretch all along the right side of your body. On your next inhale, lift your hands back up to center. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Reach down and switch your legs. Whichever leg's in front, push it to the back. Back leg comes out in front. This might feel a little bit awkward. That's okay. One more time, folding over the feet. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips, keeping your spine really long as you go down. Walk your fingers out. Once you find your edge, round out through the back and relax your forehead down towards the ground. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Bring your hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, twisting around to the right. Right fingers come behind you. Left hand crosses over the right knee. Lengthen your spine on a breath in. Go deeper into the twist as you breathe out. Back up to center, breathing in. Hands come up overhead. Exhale, twisting around to the left. Left fingers behind you. Right hand crosses over the left knee. Lengthen your spine, breathing in, and go deeper into your twist as you breathe out. Come back up to center, inhale, hands float up. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Release your hands down to your lap. Do some gentle circles with your neck. These can be big circles or small circles, fast or slow. Whatever feels right to you today. And find circles going the other way. Bring your head back up to center. Put your right hand on the ground beside you. Lift your left hand up. Wrap your hand around so that it comes to your right ear, and then gently pull towards the left. Be really slow and careful here. Get a nice stretch in the neck. Make sure it's not too much. Release and switch sides. Put your left hand right beside you on the ground. Inhale, lifting the right hand up. Drop your hand over, grabbing onto the left ear, and gently pull towards the right. And release. Make your way to your hands and knees tabletop. You can roll over your knees or swing the legs around to one side. Bring your wrists right below the shoulders. Hips come right above the knees. Move through cat-cow with your breath. As you breathe in, drop your belly down. Roll your shoulders back. Bring the gaze upward forward. On your exhales, pushing your back up towards the ceiling. Relax your head and neck down and drop your gaze through your knees. Keep moving just like that. With your breath, inhale, belly drops down, gaze comes up. Exhale, rounding out through the spine, pushing your back up one vertebrae at a time, relaxing the head and neck down. Keep moving, stretching out your breath. Lengthening the motion to match the breath. Come back to a neutral spine, breathing in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up. You can move around a little bit. We're still warming up here. My legs feel pretty tight. I'm moving nice and slow. Bend one knee and then the other to get the blood flowing through the legs and the hips. Heels are reaching towards the floor in downward facing dog, but they don't need to touch. Just pushing them towards that direction. Give you a really nice stretch on the back of the legs. Fingers should be open nice and wide. Middle finger or index finger can be pointing towards the short end of the mat. You want to have a little micro bend in your knuckles, almost like you're gripping the mat with your hands, pushing down through the pads at the ends of the fingers and the curve at the bottom of the palm. Head and neck completely relaxed, just dangling down towards the ground. And check in with your shoulders here. Make sure your shoulders are moving down your back, out of your ears, towards the hips. Sun salutations with the breath. Bend your knees, lift your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hopper step between the hands, forward fold. Half lift, breathing in, bring your torso parallel to the ground. Forward fold as you breathe out, relaxing the upper body down. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing, bend your knees, let your arms dangle down until your head comes up, and then lift your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch. Inhale, hands high. Interlace your fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down to the right. Back up to center, breathing in. And to the left as you breathe out. Inhale to center. Standing back bend on your exhale. Real gentle with the neck. Come straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Keeping the spine really long as you go down. Half lift, breathing in. Pull the shoulders down the back, opening up the chest. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Plant your hands, hopper step back to your high plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, elbows tucked in, back up, breathing in. Exhale, down again halfway. Up, tiger cobra as you breathe in. And downward facing dog as you breathe out. On our second sun salutation, we're going to start our side stretch to the left first. Bend your knees, lift your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step to the front of the mat, forward fold. Half lift to breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Rising up to standing on a big breath in, take your whole breath to come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Side stretch again to the left. Inhale, hands up. Release your fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down to the left. Back up, breathing in. And to the right as you breathe out. Straight up on a breath in. Standing back bend on your exhale. Cactus the arms or maybe drop them to your back pockets. Back up to center, breathing in. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips, leading with the chest. Half lift to breathe in. Exhale, double dip chaturanga. If you like, you can drop those knees down to the mat. Dog or cobra on your breath. And if you come into cobra and your legs are on the ground, keep your elbows bent. Exhale, rolling over the toes, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. On our last sun salutation, we're just going straight up and down, no side stretch. Bend your knees, look forward to your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step between the hands, forward fold. Half lift to breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing nice and slow. Lift your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Hands straight back down. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, diving forward, nice long spine. Half lift to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Up dog or cobra on your breath in, coming onto the tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Lift your right foot high, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bringing the knee to the nose, shoulders come right over the wrists. Foot goes back up to breathe in. Exhale, tap your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, sending your right heel high. Exhale, cross it over, tap it to the left elbow. Straight back up, big breath in. Exhale, step your foot through between your hands and rise up on an inhale to crescent lunge. Feet are on two different train tracks, both toes pointing forward. Hips are squared off towards the short end of the mat. Front knee is directly over the ankle. Really nice deep bend in that front knee. Once you get your feet all situated, inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. We're going to come into a twist here, just like we do with our twisted chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in, stretching your spine up really long. Exhale, twisting around towards the right. Tuck your left elbow outside the right knee. Push your hands together to come nice and deep into this twist. It's a balance challenge. Move really slowly. If you feel wobbly, just know that that's normal. If it's okay on your neck and your balance, you can bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. If you're having a little trouble balancing, keeping your gaze down towards the floor always helps with the balance. On your next inhale, rise back up to crescent lunge. Exhale, open out to warrior two. Pivot that back foot around, bringing your feet perpendicular. Front knee still has that nice deep bend in it. Front toes pointing straight forward. Back toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Peek on the back hand, making sure it's nice and high, and bring the gaze over the front middle finger. Yoga jumping jacks, 5 of them with your breath. Inhale, knees straight, arms up overhead. Exhale, sinking back down slowly to warrior 2. 4 more, just go at your own pace with your breath. I'm just counting so you know where I am. 3, 2, and last one. Coming into Prasarita, drop your hands down to your hips, straighten out your front knee, and turn your right toes toward the long edge of the mat. Prasarita, wide-legged forward bend. Line up the pinky toe edges of the feet so they come parallel to each other. Pull your elbows towards each other behind your back, puffing up the chest. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, keeping the spine really long. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck and let your arms come down to the ground. You can adjust your feet here as needed. My feet always want to go just a little wider when I get my hands down. And then start to crawl your hands forward, getting a nice stretch in the arms and the legs and the back. But keep your shoulder blades moving down the back, towards the hips, out of the ears. If it feels good here, you can take your fingers. Just bending those first set of knuckles a little bit. Or you can just have your hands flat on the ground. You can also have a block here under your hands if that sounds like it would feel good. And now walk your hands through your feet, turning your fingertips around so they point in the opposite direction behind you. See how far out you can comfortably crawl those fingers, looking for your edge. Notice how the stretch on the back of the legs intensifies the farther out you crawl those fingers behind you. Walk your hands back to center. Place your right hand right underneath your face, coming into a twist here. Inhale, lifting your left arm high. Open arm twist toward the side. Try to keep your hips really in line with the feet. Feeling this twist right in the center of the spine. Left fingers are reaching towards the sky. If it's accessible to you, bring the arms perpendicular to the floor or just come as close as you can. Take one more deep breath in here. Exhale, drop your left hand back down to the ground and switch sides. Plant your left hand right underneath your face. Inhale, right arm comes high. Open arm twist toward the side, stretching those right fingers up to the sky. Take one more big breath in here. Release as you breathe out. Bring both hands right underneath your face. Weight comes to your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Inhale, rising all the way up to starfish. Exhale, opening out to warrior 2. Take one more deep breath in here. As you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot. Send your right heel high on a breath in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. You can keep that foot up or drop it down to the mat. Drop your foot down to come into up dog or cobra on a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a little break here before we do the other side. Drop your knees down to the mat. Make your way to child's pose. Push your hips back to your heels. Relax your forehead down towards the ground. You can have your knees together or wide. If you bring them together, maybe you want to try wrapping your hands back behind you towards your feet with your palms facing up. Just letting the shoulders drape over the knees. Close your eyes, reconnecting with the breath. Find that nice, strong, deep breath again. Without worrying about changing anything, just notice where your breath is going. Maybe you can feel your belly filling up. Maybe you feel your ribs opening out towards the side as you breathe in. And falling back in towards your core on your exhale. Maybe you notice your back rising and falling with the breath. Just notice where that breath is going. If your hands are wrapped back towards your feet, bring your hands back out in front of you. On a breath in, lift your chest up, coming to hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Let's try that sequence on the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Foot goes back up to breathe in. Exhale, tap the left knee to the left elbow. Back up on a breath in. Exhale, cross it over to the right elbow. Straight back up, breathing in. Step your foot through between your hands as you breathe out and rise up on an inhale to crescent lunge. Both toes pointing straight forward, back right heel's lifted. Front left knee has a nice deep bend in it, right over that ankle. Hips are squared off towards the straight into the mat. Hands come up, turn the pinkies and keep the shoulders moving down the back. Again, we're gonna do a twist here, just like our chair twist. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in, stretching your spine up really long. Exhale, twisting around towards the left. Tuck your right elbow outside the left knee and push your palms together. Remember that keeping the gaze low towards the ground is going to help with balance. If you're feeling pretty balanced today, maybe you can bring the gaze up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, rise back up to crescent lunge. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Pivot your back foot around and drop the heel down on the mat. Feet come perpendicular to each other. Front heels intersecting the back heel or the back arch. Peek on your back hand, making sure it's nice and high. And bring your gaze right over your front middle finger. Yoga jumping jacks on this side, going with your breath. Inhale, knees straight, hands come up overhead. Exhale, slowly sinking back down to warrior two. 4 more. Try to stretch your motion out to match your breath. Lengthening the breath. 3. 2. And last one. Again, coming into prasarita, wide-legged forward bend. Drop your hands to your hips, straighten out the front knee, and turn the left toes toward the long edge of the mat. Lining up your feet with your pinky toe edges parallel. Bring the big toes ever so slightly turned inward. This time, inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Exhale, sweep your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers, push down, puff up the chest. Take a deep breath in. Fold forward as you breathe out. Leading with the chest, keeping the spine really long. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck down and peel your arms off your back. Push up through your hands towards the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades sliding down the back, towards the hips, out of the ears. Take one more breath in here. Exhale, release your hands. Let your hands slide down your legs, coming to stop wherever they feel comfortable. If you can reach all the way down to the feet, you can tuck your fingers underneath the pinky toe edges of the feet, and then bend your elbows out to the sides to come even deeper into your fold. Release your hands out from under your feet. Bring both hands right underneath your face. Weight comes to both of your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Inhale, rising up to starfish. Exhale, sink down into horse. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. Bringing your upper arms and upper legs in the direction of coming parallel to the ground. You don't need to be perfectly parallel with the ground. Just find your own edge, wherever that feels like you're getting a nice stretch, but it's not too much. You can find some stillness here, or maybe you want to just do some pulses, going up and down. Sometimes it's easier to find a little motion than to hold still in a pose. I'm just going to stay here for a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, rise back up to starfish. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Take one more deep breath in here. As you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot. Send your left heel high to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Up, tiger cobra, drop the foot down. Big breath in here. Exhale, roll over your toes, lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees, lift your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hopper step between the hands, forward fold. Half lift, breathing in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing nice and slow. Hands come up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Let's do some balancing poses. If you know that you like to hold onto a wall, just make your way over to a wall or a piece of furniture. Have a little extra security. That's always a good thing. We're going to come into eagle pose today. Starting by coming into chair, you can have your big toes touching with some space between the heels, or you can choose to have your feet on two different train tracks. Inhale, lifting the hands up. Exhale, sitting back into the chair. Push your hips down and back. Pull your shoulders down the back. Wiggle your toes. Make sure the weight's in your heels. Bring your hands to heart center to set up for eagle. I'm going to mirror you, so I'll be doing the opposite side. Bring all the weight to your left leg. Lift your right leg up. Cross your right leg over your left. Try to wrap those right toes towards the back of the left leg. It's okay if they don't get very far. Just reaching in that direction. You can stay right here, or you can include your hands as well. Right arm comes underneath the left. Wrap your arms around, bring your palms together, and then lift your hands up so that your elbows come parallel with your shoulders, and bounce the gaze off the forearms. On your next breath in, unwind, knee comes high, arms float up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step your right foot back down to the mat. Wiggle out your legs. And come into ragdoll pose. Before we do the other side, bring your feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, folding forward. Nice long spine as you go down. Relax your head and neck and grab for opposite elbows. Gently rock side to side. Feel all the kinks falling right out of your spine, through the top of your head, into the ground. You can bend one knee and then the other. Before you release, just notice how your arms are crossed. So you can cross them the opposite way the next time you come in. Release your hands. Weight comes to the fingers. Bring your feet back together again. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Let's try eagle pose on the other side. Bring your feet however you like them for a chair. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, sitting back down into your chair. Wiggle your toes. Pull the shoulders down the back. Feel the crown of the head stretching up towards the sky. Bring your hands to heart center to set up for eagle. All weight comes to the right foot. Lifting your left leg up. Cross the left leg over the right. Left thigh comes right on top of the right thigh. Try to wrap those left toes toward the back of the right leg. Remember, it's okay if you don't get very far. And then let's include the arms, if you like. Left arm comes underneath the right. Wrap your hands around, matching up the palms, and lift your arms up so that your elbows come parallel with your shoulders, bouncing the gaze off the forearms. On your next breath in, unwind, knee high, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Set your left foot back down. Wiggle it out. Ragdoll pose. Arms cross the opposite way. Feet come hip width distance apart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, dive forward. Nice long spine going down. Grab for opposite elbows. Crossing your arms the upward way. Gently rock side to side, bending one knee and then the other. Imagine your spine is just water falling down towards the ground. Release your hands down to the ground. Weight comes to the fingers to heel toe your feet out even wider. Toes out, heels in. So there your feet come about the width of your mat. Bend your knees. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, sitting right down into your deep squat Malasana. Bring your hands to heart center. Push your hips down towards the ground. You can open up your feet as much as you need to get the heels to touch the ground here. Push your knees out with your elbows, stretching out towards the sky. If you like, you can try crow pose here. You can always bring a block down to set your forehead on if you want. Hands come like chaturanga hands, about hip width distance apart. And then bring your feet together to let your knees pop out wide to the sides. Tuck your elbows right underneath the kneecaps, making a shelf with your upper arms. And start to shift your weight onto that shelf. Gaze comes on the floor in front of you, about 12 to 18 inches to float the feet. Maybe you just want to trade off, floating one foot and then the other. Or maybe you can lift both of those feet up. When you're ready, release. Come back into Malasana. One big breath in, pushing the knees out, stretching the spine up. And release to a seat. Hands come behind you, fingers pointing towards the hips. Gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. Releasing the hips. And let's come into boat pose. Oops. Feet are planted on the ground, about hip width distance apart. Tuck your fingers inside the creases of both knees. And lean back just a little bit to float your feet. If this is enough, you already feel a challenge, you can stay right here. If you want a little bit more, you can release your hands out to the sides. And if you really want some core exercise here, you can do some boat sit-ups. Inhale, straighten out your legs, lean back, but don't touch the ground. Exhale, coming back into boat. Maybe try for 4 more with the breath. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to close it up again. 3, 2, and last one. Drop your feet down to the mat one more time. Bring your hands behind you. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Reverse table. Feet are hip width distance apart. Fingers still pointing towards your hips, planted on the ground behind you. Inhale, lifting your hips up. Push your hips up towards the sky. It's okay on the neck. You can release your head back down. You can stay right here, or you can move with your breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sweep your hips down and back. Try to keep your hips above the ground and come through your hands. 2 more times with the breath. Inhaling, lifting the hips up, pushing them towards the sky. Exhale, sweeping the hips down and back through the hands, keeping them above the ground. One last time. Inhaling, pushing your hips up. Exhale, sweeping the hips through the hands. And release. Make your way all the way down onto your back. Bridge pose. Knees are still pointing up towards the sky. And plant your hands flat on the mat so that your middle fingers are just touching the backs of the heels. 3 times with the breath. Inhaling, lifting your hips up. Stretching out the belly. Exhale, release back down to the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. 2 more times, just going with your breath. And last one. Hug your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, take a deep breath in. Exhale, forehead comes up to the knees, curling into a tight little ball, squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Open out your arms wide in a T. Put your legs in a tabletop, 90 degrees on the knees and hips. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, dropping your knees down together towards the right, all the way to the floor. Try to keep that 90-degree angle on the knees and hips. Right fingers can tuck inside the crease of the left knee to help the legs stay down. And bring the gaze over to the left hand to complete your twist. Release your right hand back out to the side. Lift your knees up to center, breathing in. Exhale, dropping them down together towards the left. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the right knee. Gaze comes over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Lift your knees up to center on a breath in. Happy baby pose. Grab the outsides of your knees with your legs bent. or reach for the pinky toe edges of the feet and open out your legs. Push your tailbone back down towards the mat. Pull the knees into the armpits. Gently rock side to side, bending one knee and then the other if you like. And release, making your way to Shavasana. I'm going to walk you through that option with the strap here for Supta Baddha Konasana, so that if you want to take that, you can do that. Strap comes first behind the back, and then over one leg, underneath the feet, over the other knee, and connect those sides. Find that spot where it feels good. Make sure it's not too tight, so you're not feeling too much pressure, just enough to hold your knees in place. And once you've got that strap wrapped around the waist, underneath the foot, and over both of your legs, then you can lean into the ground. Just lean into it. Remember, if your hips are super tight, you can always place blocks underneath your knees just to give you a little extra support there. Gently lean back. Close your eyes. Hands can be by your sides, palms facing up or down. You can bring your hands to your heart and your belly. Lift your chest up. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Bring your chin into your chest and rock your head side to side, just letting your head fall back to its natural center point. Close your eyes once you've gotten really nice and comfortable. Releasing the body. Let yourself melt into the ground. If it's helpful, you can do another body scan here. It's just checking for any tension. Sometimes we don't realize that we're holding tension somewhere, but once we start to check, we can find that tension and just allow it to release. Release your breath, making your way back to natural breathing. And release your mind. Just watch your thoughts come and go like the ocean waves. You see them coming in, and then they fall back into the ocean and disappear to be replaced by something new. Find a few moments of stillness to complete your practice today. Blink your eyes open. Start to make your way back up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me today for yoga. Namaste.